What's up, yo? It's your brother CJ, the author of the book Becoming the CEO of Your Life, and I'm over as a guest of Dr. Myron Golden right here in Tampa, Florida at the Offer Mastery Live. And I'm excited because I'm going to have a few of my friends share their takeaways and their experiences right here. Check this out.
What's your name? Where you coming from?
Joey Johan, coming from Orlando, Florida.
All right, Joey, what would you say was your biggest challenge coming in to this event?
I would say biggest challenge is just continuing to grow our traffic, continue to be able to impact people. I think one of the big takeaways we've had in this event is setting ourselves up to not necessarily go out and always seek, but setting up ourselves to be findable from the people that we serve best.
All right. What would you say is your biggest takeaway going forward?
Biggest takeaway going forward, I would say, is to set bigger goals. The idea of impossible goals that Benjamin Hardy talked about was huge for us.
Biggest challenge was figuring out how to get more people to actually see and hear about our mission.
All right. And what's your biggest takeaway going forward?
Biggest takeaway is to actually believe in the impossible version of ourselves that God created us to be.
Coming to the conference, I'd say my biggest challenge was probably understanding how to lead my clients away from pain first, and then leading them into pleasure.
Forward, what would you say is your biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway is that the only limits that we have are the limits that we place upon ourselves. So it's all in, every problem has a solution. It just depends on what we decide to focus on. So if you decide that you're going to focus on the problem, you'll never overcome it. But if you decide that you're solution oriented, you'll get there someday.
All right, what was your biggest challenge coming in?
Yep, my biggest challenge is so funny, right? So coming from Georgia, I was literally just in Tampa on Mother's Day weekend. Took the highway, right? But coming down here, it took me the whole way on the back roads.
Oh,
so
wow.
it took me longer to get here than what I should have been here though, but I made it. So that biggest takeaway, you know what, my number one takeaway, get more leads, generate more leads and love on your clients. That's my biggest takeaway.
My biggest challenge coming in was to know how to scale my business and take it to the next level. But what my biggest takeaway is, you have to make sure you're in the right environment. Just the right environment, being around the right people can shift your business. So my takeaway is that going forward, the long-term goal I had to scale my business, just by being here, Myron Golden has shown me how to do that in 1 year.
My biggest challenge was get out my own way. Ego. Ego stands for exit God out. A lot of times men in their ego, so they exit God out and wonder why they to the floor and not to the ceiling. My biggest takeaway is fail fast. And I'll give you an example. Somebody take 10 years because they thinking about what they need to do. And if I fail fast in them 10 years, I will compound interest myself by failing fast. And I will go through a lot of different situations and get there faster.
My biggest challenge coming in was really getting some clarity on the best practices and the strategies I need to scale my business, really create the foundation of the coaching program that I want to create in the space. I would say the biggest takeaway is understanding that disruption always follows intention. Every single time you create a new goal, something that you're not comfortable with, or a goal that'll stretch you, it's not going to go as planned. Things will go quote unquote wrong, but the things that we think that are wrong, or the things that we think that are setbacks, are actually a setup for us to succeed.
The biggest challenge coming in was just affirming my identity as someone who actually invests in their self and their mindset. Like my body and my mind was in conflict, right. And they started attacking each other. So I bounced back and I got here, and I'm so glad I made this change. My biggest takeaway from here is number one, it's simple, it's easy. Everyone's doing it. Myron gave awards for people who are doing 100,000, a million. Before I came in here, there was doubts in the back of my mind of what I can achieve, and putting time frames and such on it. Now, the doubts have completely been removed. I can make $1 million tomorrow.
Right.
Like this.
Man, my challenge coming into this is, the big thing was doing everything myself, and thinking that because I had a team that was able to have me scale my business, and thinking that I had limitations on my ability to serve on the level that God's called me to serve. So far, I mean, that whole 10X concept, I love Ben Hardy, and I've read a lot of his books, realizing that even taking an L, going backwards a bit, and getting rid of some things that are making me money, but don't align with an impossible goal, that's my biggest takeaway. So now I have a couple of impossible goals that are going to require me to kind of get rid of some things that are going to be some money makers, but they're getting in the way of that impossible goal.
My biggest challenge was marketing and selling my products. I need to charge more and put it in the explain better what the customers are receiving from me.
All right.
My biggest challenge coming here, to be honest, I've been watching Myron for a while, so I knew I was coming. But to leave, the business back home, I have a small business running with my pops. To leave him by himself was a little rough, but I knew that I had to come, and get better,
All right.
Get more motivation, more knowledge, so that I could take it up a higher level.
Biggest challenge coming in is starting something new. The spaces that I've been in, I've done the work for a long time, but we're adding to it some stuff on our own with my wife. The big takeaway first is be action oriented, just do it. And then with Dr. Ben Hardy just shared about setting that impossible goal that will disrupt your current paradigm, your current system, and allow you to explore some new ways of thinking and being.